and you have just started showing your fans. We can't wait for Thanksgiving Eve for you to be back in this ring. God bless you all. Thank you. There's a little guy here that all of you have seen fight here at Twin River Casino. His name is Mike Bling Bling Valentine. He just had a major surgery and went through so many obstacles with it. Mike, please come up here and let's give Mike some love. This is our champion right here. This is our true champion. If you followed his story with the surgery at Rhode Island Hospital and everything he's been through in life, Mike, so 3 times I presented you with a WBC belt, and I told you to hold on to it. And when I did come to the hospital, every time I left the hospital, I left with tears in my eyes. But tonight you make me happy to be here with us and root on your CES team and all your fighters from Big Six. So why don't you tell the fans on this battle you've been through and how happy it is for you to eat food, for you to be able to walk, and for you to be with us here tonight.
Jimmy, I can't thank you enough, for having me here and giving me this great opportunity. I had surgery August 10th. I was, facing through some adversities in my life. All my life I've dealt with it, It was hard, living in the hospital for a whole month, not eating. I lost 12 pounds. And for me to be here watching all my guys fight, it's amazing. I couldn't get in the ring, comfortable because, from all the incisions, but I'm happy, I'm eating, and I'm ready to put the weight back on.
Let's hear it for Bling Bling. Bling Bling, we love you. Yeah. So, one of the new fighters on the ever-growing stable of CES. Wait till you see this young man. Lamont Powell, are you here? Please come up here in the ring if you are. Lamont Powell.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Lamont Powell. Want to know? When are you fighting here at Twin River, may I ask?
November 21st.
I think we have a card that night. And what do you expect to bring for the audience on November 21st?
What was it?
What are you going to bring to the audience?
War.
War. I like that, Jimmy. I like this guy. Sharp dresser. Wait till we see him fight, says the boss. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Lamont Powell. Fight fans, we're just a moment or two away from going live on Facebook. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Fight fans, I'd like to introduce you to a couple of fighters that don't need any introductions. One of the up-and-coming, promising heavyweights. Ladies and gentlemen, Cassius Clay. And the Queen of Mean. Ladies and gentlemen, Shelly Vincent. Cassius Chaney. I had a senior moment, Jimmy. What's your record, my man, and when can we see you fight?
My record is 13-0, and I'm looking forward to fighting in November.
Right here in this casino?
Hope so.
Going to be a big card the night before Thanksgiving. Of course, the Queen of Mean, you need no introduction. How about a little hello to your fans out there?
How y'all doing, Rhode Island? As everybody knows, I got that rematch coming up with Heather, and we're going to bring the WBO back to Rhode Island where it belongs.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about a round of applause? All right, guys, it's time to make some noise for some FREE free t-shirts. Our beautiful round card models have some shirts courtesy of Acre Nissan. Let's make some noise out there. Come on, guys, make some noise.
Good evening, fight fans, and welcome to Twin River Casino here in Lincoln, Rhode Island for another installment of Jimmy Birchfield's Classic Entertainment and Sports Fight Night, brought to you here live on Facebook, CES Boxing, and VIVE. My name is Pat Sullivan, my broadcast partner. Joining me in just a few minutes tonight is Scott Reeves. Tonight's main event, 8 rounds in the super lightweight division for the UBF All-American title. The reigning champion, Nick Nice DeLomba from nearby Cranston, Rhode Island, puts his belt on the line against Baton Rouge, Louisiana's Chris Singleton. That is 8 rounds in the main event. The co-feature, 6 rounds also in the super lightweight division. Anthony Marsella Jr. from nearby Providence, Rhode Island, takes on Brandon Berry from West Forks, Maine. Marsella with a perfect 9-0 record. Berry 13-3-2. Also on tonight's televised card, Ricky Delossantos-Ortiz. 4 rounds in the lightweight division, Shayna Foppiano, Sarah Click. And the opening fight, 4 rounds in the heavyweight division. The big boys, the one that Scott Ream loves to broadcast, Rafael Akpejiori, pro debut against Omar Acosta. That's the first fight we're going to see, so let's head down to the center of the ring to ring announcer Adam Palazzo.
Continues, and those of you watching us live on Facebook, we welcome you to a hard-hitting night of CES boxing. Let's get right into the action and welcome our next fighter to the ring. Ladies and gentlemen, Omar Acosta.
Making his way now to the ring, Omar the Phenom Acosta, 31 years old. He's 1-1 with a 1 knockout on his record. The 6'2" heavyweight hails in Hereford, Texas, but was born in Mexico. Is also an MMA fighter. Trains out of Force of One in New Mexico under head coach Eric Swan. A heavyweight who had no amateur fights, decided to turn pro. He said his mouth got him into a lot of fights, so he turned in to become a professional fighter, and he's making a living out of it now. He also does train MMA. More on Omar after we meet his opponent here.
And his opponent coming to the ring, Rafael Akpejiori.
Akpejiori ready to make his professional debut. A fight long coming here for the Nigerian heavyweight, now lives in Miami, Florida. Trains at Body and Soul Boxing Gym under two-time world champion Glenn Johnson. Now joined by my broadcast partner, Scott Ream. And Scott, not only are you a boxing fan, not only are you a fan of fighting, but I know you know this guy walking him out right now, two-time world champion Glenn Johnson. And to make your pro debut and to have Glenn Johnson walk you to the ring, he must have some crazy goosebumps going on right now.
Not only will he have crazy goosebumps, but you have to turn around and say, what is his background? He must have somebody, he must have some skill set, he must have shown two-time champ something, got some credentials in the gym, motivated him somehow to make the trip all the way up here north.
We're going to find out what Akpejiori has in just a few seconds. Let's head back to the center of the ring for the official fighter introductions by ring announcer Adam Palazzo.
The following fight is scheduled for 4 rounds in the heavyweight division. Introducing first, in the blue corner, wearing the black trunks. He weighed in at 214 pounds. His pro record stands 1 win, 1 loss, with that 1 win coming by way of knockout. Hailing from Amarillo, Texas, ladies and gentlemen, Omar Acosta. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the white trunks with the green and red trim. He weighed in at 254 pounds. Tonight, he makes his pro debut. He was a 2-sport athlete at the University of Miami and is trained by 2-time world champion Glenn Johnson, hailing from Miami, Florida. Ladies and gentlemen, Raphael Akpejiori.
So Akpejiori-Acosta.
Your referee is Danny Schiavone.
Ready to get it on here in the opening fight on Facebook, CES Boxing, and VIVE. I'm Pat Sullivan, my broadcast partner tonight, Scott Ream. Ready for this heavyweight action, Scott. How excited are you to lead things off with the big boys, the heavyweights? That is almost 500 pounds of athlete in that ring right now.
I love a night that starts with a little sugar boom boom. These guys are just, they take up a lot of space in there.
Not a lot of room to hide when there's 2 athletes that are over 6'2" each. And Akpejiori, 6'8", Scott. He's 27 years old. As we heard in the introduction, he used to play basketball at the University of Miami, used to play football, had a tryout with the Miami Dolphins in the NFL. And maybe even more impressive, he's a mechanical engineer. That's what he got his degree in at the University of Miami. And now does energy management for a job.
Well, they say it's the sweet science, so he's trying to prove that positive.
Akpejiori looking to get busy early on here, establish that left jab. Glenn Johnson yesterday at the weigh-in told me his best punch is his left jab.
Well, you can see right off the bat, Omar's having a hard time getting through that distance. He's ran into that jab right off the bat. Right, you can see it right there. It's not just a little bit of a jab. It's stopping you cold in your tracks.
Long reach there for Akpejiori as well.
That one hurt him. That little tiny right uppercut hurt him. Omar's in a lot of trouble right here.
And referee Danny Schiavone ready to jump in, and he does pretty quickly there. And Akpejiori, an impressive first round there. I'm sure he wished he could get a little more time on the time clock there, but he really just laid it on to Acosta. And even though his opponent didn't go down, he was covering up, and he wasn't going to do anything to get out of the corner.
He's still not. He's on one knee. He's not up. He hasn't recovered. 59 seconds.
Raphael Akpejiori wins his professional debut here at CES Boxing, and Jimmy Birchfield Sr. has a way of finding some hidden gems in the boxing sport, and he's done some great work with heavyweights back in the days of Maurice Walk, Jason Estrada, now with Giuseppe Angelo Cusimano, and he has promised everybody here at CES that Raphael Akpejiori is the next great heavyweight that we're going to see. And Akpejiori must think the same about CES, and he's coming all the way from Miami with Glenn Johnson to fight here at CES. So it shows a lot about that relationship and the trust they have.
Well, most certainly does. What you want to do is you want to take a really good look at, Glenn Johnson in say to yourself, what's he see in this fight? What's he see to put the time, the effort, and make this fight for somebody who's fighting his first fight? This is it. I'm making it. This isn't a local fight. This isn't something that's around the corner. CES is, time, travel. He's given this guy an education right out of the gate. This is what it's like to travel. This is what it's like to fight in hostile territory. Places you're unfamiliar with, out of a hotel. It's a big jump, and he handled it effortlessly.
And let's not forget Glenn Johnson's nickname, the Road Warrior. So from him to go to Miami to Providence isn't the biggest deal in the world for Glenn Johnson time-wise, but you're right, for him to actually get on a plane and go and spend his weekend here in Rhode Island says a lot. Let's hear the final time of the stoppage from ring announcer Adam Palazzo.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, 59 seconds into round number 1 by TKO, the Nigerian Hurricane, Raphael Akpejiori. Raphael, first big win in your new second home at Twin River Casino. A quick one. How did it feel, champ?
It's been a long time coming. First and foremost, I want to thank God for every talent He's given me to do what I do and keep doing it. Secondly, I want to give a big thank you to this big man here, Mr. Birchfield, for giving us fighters this opportunity to do what we do and achieve our dreams. My coach, Glenn Johnson and Mark, I want to thank everybody, and Omar, he was a good fighter. I'm just very thankful.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Nigerian Hurricane, Raphael Akpejiori.
There you have it. Not even a full minute, Scott. 59 seconds.
His trainer,
1 second short
world
of a minute.
champion, Mr. Glenn Johnson.
And actually, we're going to hear from Glenn Johnson
after that
here.
victory.
That'd be great.
I'm very proud. I'm very excited about Raphael. He's been working hard, really putting everything together, and especially in the last 2 weeks, I'm very excited about his future. I want to thank everybody for coming out and supporting this event. I want to thank Mr. Birchfield for all that he do. He worked with us diligently to make sure that everything was on point. One of the best promoters in the business. Thank you, sir.
You got that right, Mr. Johnson. Ladies and gentlemen, two-time world champion, Mr. Glenn Johnson.
There you have it, the Road Warrior Glenn Johnson back in Rhode Island with his new protege, Raphael Akpejiori.
That's somebody who, we didn't see very much out of him tonight, of course, but that also speaks volume. You look at him, he kept good poise, he didn't rush. He knew he was hurt, and he didn't rush in, he kept distance, and he just kept basically applying the same steady pressure. He didn't get over aggressive. That speaks a little bit. That shows him that he's learning well.
Akpejiori wins his pro debut. Omar Acosta drops to 1 and 2 as a professional. Fans, tonight's live boxing is brought to you by CES Boxing and VIVE Network. VIVE Network is a global digital linear ultra HD TV network launching this fall on every device. Viewers will be able to tune in to live sports and entertainment on the world's first and only UHD HDR TV network from smart TVs, set-top boxes, cable, satellite, tablets, and mobiles. Follow at VIVE TV Network on Twitter or visit vivetv.network for more information and updates. CES going to be joining with VIVE Network here in the coming fights to broadcast these fights in 4K. So a lot of exciting news here for CES coming up with our new partner here at VIVE. Once again, fans, I'm Pat Sullivan. My broadcast partner, Scott Ream, live from Twin River Casino here in Lincoln, Rhode Island. Jimmy Birchfield's Classic Entertainment and Sports bring another installment of Fight Night, a place where fight fans all throughout the Northeast, the East Coast, and really throughout the country know that when CES and Jimmy Birchfield put on a card, it's nonstop excitement for 3 to 4 hours on a Friday night. And the crowd here is a testament to that as they continue to still come in throughout the night to see some new upcoming fighters and see some more established fighters like Nick DeLomba, Anthony Marsella, Brandon Barry, Chris Singleton, who we'll see later on tonight. 4 more fights still to come here from CES Boxing. So we're ready for our next fight. 4 rounds in the lightweight division. Shayna Foppiano and Sarah Click, the only female bout on the card. And it looks like we're ready to meet the contestants here. Ring announcer Adam Palazzo there in the center of the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, the hard-hitting CES action continues. Let's welcome our next fighter to the ring. Ladies and gentlemen, Sarah Click. And her opponent coming to the ring, Shayna Foppiano.
Shayna Foppiano against Sarah Click, 4 rounds in the lightweight division. Click, who we just saw walk out 0-1 from Buzzards Bay. Foppiano 1-0 with 1 knockout. And I'll tell you, with Sarah Click, she had a lot of fans out here bobbing their head, but Foppiano has Scott Ream almost dancing out of his seat here. You like her entrance music already?
How do you not like her entrance music? Take a listen.
Foppiano from Everett, Massachusetts, training out of Greater Boston Fitness under Joe Lake. She had no amateur boxing fights, just decided to put on the gloves and go pro right away. She won her pro debut 50 weeks ago today on September in 2017, a TKO win against Lamera Gary in Boston. A former Everett High School quarterback, where she also played softball, track, and basketball, and a special education teacher in Chelsea. Shayna Foppiano has done it all so far, and now she makes her Twin River and CES boxing debut. More on Sarah Click and Shayna Foppiano now from the ring announcer, Adam Palazzo.
The following fight is scheduled for 4 rounds in the lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks. She weighed in at 134 pounds. Fighting in her second pro fight, she is a sergeant in the U.S. Army. Hailing from Buzzards Bay, Massachusetts, ladies and gentlemen, Sarah Click. And her opponent, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the white trunks with the red trim. She weighed in at 135 pounds. Her pro record, 1 win, no loss, with that one big victory come by knockout. She is the heartbreaking, jaw-breaking Princess of Pain, hailing from Everett, Massachusetts. Ladies and gentlemen, Shayna Hollywood Foppiano. Your referee is Eddie Claudio.
Well, Scott Ream, that was quite the introduction there for Shayna Foppiano.
Well, I got to tell you, it's funny. Sarah's been here a million times before. She's fought Muay Thai, she's fought MMA, and now boxing. She's very calm, she's collected, she's relaxed. I think Shayna's in the same place. She's excited. She doesn't seem overzealous. But if you look through all that introduction, Sarah just sitting back, applauding for her. She's focused.
Here we go. 4 rounds in the lightweight division. Shayna Hollywood Foppiano and Sarah Click. As we heard in the introduction, Click, a sergeant in the U.S. Army, also a professional Muay Thai fighter and MMA fighter.
I think the word fighter is what you were looking for, Ben.
She's a fighter.
Yeah, I believe
she's
so.
a fighter.
Give her a gun, give her a pair of gloves. Thank you, Sarah.
Hand-to-hand combat, boxing, MMA. She does it all.
Just give the lady what she's asking for. Sarah's out in a southpaw stance now, but that's going to change. She'll switch back and forth.
Yeah, Click doesn't look too comfortable as a southpaw.
Nice
Looks like
right
she's trying
hand
to
from Shayna.
maybe.
Now their Click comes right back. You see she's going orthodox again. So you're going to see Sarah making that transition.
And again, Scott, Shayna only had 1 pro fight so far, no amateur fights. So she's going in there against Sarah Click, who's fought professional in 2 other disciplines already and also professional boxer in her own right. So a lot of experience here for Sarah. We'll see if that pays off in this fight against Shayna Foppiano, who has only 1 pro fight.
She doesn't look intimidated by any stretch, Shayna, not at all. At the same time, that experience tends to show up rounds 2 and 3. Nice right hand, left hook by Shayna.
And Click came right back, looks a little unfazed by that.
But Shayna's landing. She's going to try to find her distance. Now, if you look at Sarah, Sarah seems much more relaxed. Shayna's got good movement. She's got a little bounce in her step. You see Sarah kind of, almost nice side step for the straight right hand that fell short.
And Click keeps switching up her stance too, so we're going to see how that
You're going to see that
affects
throughout the
Foppiano.
night. That's her style, both in boxing as well as in MMA. Nice right hand coming up. Shayna dropped down, worked the body, came up with a straight right hand.
Foppiano's coach, Joe Lake, yesterday when I asked what her strength is, he says conditioning, and she throws bunches of punches. And you can see right there, she was pretty active in that first round.
Now, see, what a lot of folks have to remember is with ladies' rounds, they're 2-minute rounds. Pro rounds are 2 minutes. So you really have to stay busy. You have to throw a lot. You have to land. If you take 1 round off, it's a blink of an eye.
Click fought here in January of 2017 at CES MMA 41. So she not only has been here at CES, but also in the Octagon in the cage here at CES. So Sarah Click, no stranger to Twin River Casino, as you mentioned, Scott. You see right now Joe Lake talking to a student there, Shayna Foppiano. In the corner of Sarah Click, that's CES MMA heavyweight Greg Rebello. Fun fact for fans who just tuned in and weren't here for the undercard, Scott Ream and Greg Rebello also cornered with Steve Mays on one of the undercard fights tonight. You guys didn't get the win, but you didn't get the loss. It was a draw.
Yeah,
so.
It was kissing your sister. Andy kissed his sister tonight. Andy fought hard. He did a great job for a majority draw.
Round 2 of a scheduled 4. Foppiano in the white trunks, Click in the black trunks. Again, as Scott mentioned, shorter rounds here as Click comes out in a more orthodox stance to start the second round.
I like the way Shayna's going to the bottom and coming back up to the head. Nice long jab there that's landed. Sarah's just shot in her punches. The combinations look sharp, but she's just falling short.
A good defense so far for Foppiano. Click made her pro debut last March.
Little shoulder bump there, little shoulder bump. Now that's the great head movement. Sarah went under, rolled up top, threw a combination and touched the body up, scored some points there.
And Scott, Sarah looks really comfortable getting into an exchange like that. She just kind of bobbed her head back, let Shayna throw and miss, which, as you know, as a fighter, when you throw and miss a big punch like that, it takes a little bit out of you.
Absolutely. Now, there's a straight right hand that landed. Nice double jab coming off of Shayna. When you do miss, it does take a lot out of you, and it's also a little disheartening as well, both the physical and emotional. You sit there and you get a little frustrated. You got to work that out of your system. Nice straight right hand as she comes in.
Yeah, great job by Foppiano to counter there, too, with a straight right.
It's almost like the second her leg hits the rope, she's firing that right hand, whether Sarah's close enough or not.
Click trying to time up her punches here.
Nice straight left hand by Sarah. Now she
Final
turns
seconds
this
of
into
round
a
number 2. That was a big
little
miss there by
brawl,
Click.
yeah.
If Click had connected on that, that would have
That might
done some damage.
Yeah, might have.
That was a big swing and miss there by Click, but a good effort there by both fighters. Good fight so far for the first 2 rounds, Scott, and this is one of those fights where it's a shame we're only going to get 4 rounds out of this one.
No doubt.
Still to come, featherweight battle between Ricky De Los Santos and Jose Ortiz. Co-feature Anthony Marsella Jr. and Brandon Berry. And tonight's main event for the UBF All-American title, Nick DeLomba defends against Chris Singleton. So 3 great fights still scheduled here for CES boxing promoter Jimmy Birchfield, senior matchmaker Michael Parenti, giving fans here in New England and the Northeast and the East Coast another great night of fights here at Twin River Casino. I'm Pat Sullivan, my partner Scott Ream. Thank you for making CES Boxing a part of your Friday night. Whether you tuned in on CES Boxing on Facebook or on VIVE, we appreciate you being with us here this Friday night for the second fight of a scheduled 5 televised card. Shayna Foppiano in the white trunks with the American flag. Sarah Click with the black trunks.
I like the bounce Shayna has in her feet. She's on the balls of her feet. She's moving in and out pretty well. Nice combination, moving in, moving out. Anytime that Shayna tends to stay stuck in there you go. Sarah measured that right hand.
It's going to come with experience, Scott, but it looks like Shayna may be bouncing a little bit too much on her feet, and if Sarah can time up that rhythm a little bit, that's when she may be able to connect. But so far, Shayna's had good defense.
It's one thing just to bounce, but if you can bounce and feint, bounce and throw the jab, even if the jab's shot, even if you're not landing, you're going to set some time and set your next punches up behind it. And a veteran like Sarah, now she's only got 2 Sarah's waving her arms, she's saying, come on, let's go, let's mix this up. Now a veteran like Sarah, she's going to be able to just find her own flow. She's not rushing. Like we talked about, this might only be her second professional boxing fight, but she's probably between MMA and Muay Thai, she has 20 professional fights across the board.
And you're right, Scott, someone who's fought in so many different disciplines isn't looking here to come in and win on points and win by jab, and she wants to get into a fight here. And so far, she's trying to take the action to Shayna this round.
And credit both ladies, this has not been dull, they've been active, they've been moving in and out, nice exchanges. Sarah has great measure on not only her distance, but on Shayna's right now. She's measuring off, she's rolling back, leaning back like you just saw there, making her miss. She has a really good command of her own distance at the moment.
Final seconds of round number 3. This fight's going to go into the 4th and final round here. A little more on Sarah Click as you see her here with her corner. A little blood coming out of her nose. Nothing certainly that's going to get in the way of the fight. Scott, she started training in combat sports after she came home from a deployment in Afghanistan with the U.S. Army. And that was the best way to keep her from all the things that come home with you from being on tour in Afghanistan. And she's made a little career out of it for herself, as we mentioned, in multiple sports. And Shayna transitioning as a high school athlete, and not just basketball and track and softball, Scott, but also football. Shayna was a quarterback of the Everett High female football team.
Well, I got to tell you, when you have somebody that's an athlete in other sports making the transition to boxing, there's pros and cons. One of the pros, though, is a work ethic, and you want to develop, and you know you're going to not get this overnight. So credit to both ladies. But, you know, coming off that deployment, whatever keeps Sarah squared away and happy, you know, we can't thank her enough for her service, of course. You can't say that enough.
Absolutely. A tip of the cap to Sarah Click as both fighters exchange here in the center of the ring. And Scott, one thing Shayna Foppiano is understanding now is when she was a quarterback, she had an offensive line blocking her. Now it's just her and her opponent.
Well, she just bloodied up Sarah again. corner momentarily stopped the stopped the bleeding, but Sarah, she said she wanted more. She just kept coming forward.
Good fight between these two fighters in their second pro fight each in the boxing ring. Foppiano from nearby Everett, Massachusetts, is her coach, Joe Lake, in the corner, shouting instructions. Joe Lake, a guy, Scott, who you know pretty well in the area.
Absolutely. He's had some great fighters come out of his gym. You know, most notably, a lot made the crossover as well. Marcus Davis was a big name. He was an excellent boxer, 20-plus professional fights and wins in boxing, and made the transition to MMA and fought in the UFC. I've had the pleasure of being punched in the face by Marcus.
I'm sure he would say the same thing, Scott. Final 40 seconds to go here in the fourth and final round between Shayna Foppiano and Sarah Click.
Shayna needs to bring that right foot with her. She's kind of dragging it behind, and that's why she's falling short. There it was. She stepped through it that time. Very well done. This is going to be a tough fight to call. Very evenly matched. Look at Mr. Parente doing his job well.
Nobody matches boxing fights like Mike Parente, the premier matchmaker in the Northeast and the East Coast. Final seconds to go.
Sarah throwing bombs.
Sarah's trying to come forward and win that final second of the round. And I'll tell you, Scott, in a round that close, you come forward in the last 5 or 10 seconds, you may be able to seal that round if the judge was on the fence. And Sarah may have done that in the past 5 seconds, at least in the fourth round.
She might have done it, but it really looked like both of them, you know, when Sarah pushed that pace, it seemed to overwhelm no one. Shayna stood her ground and fired back. I think more than anything else, you can see the veteran combat sports person in Sarah. You saw that she knew when it was time to step on the gas, and she knew when she could coast. Now that'll come. Shayna will get better and better with that. She had a great showing tonight. This is going to be a very tough fight to call.
Foppiano came in with a 1-0 record. It's her first fight in 50 weeks, so not quite a year, but very close. Looking to be more active here under the guidance of Classic Entertainment and Sports. And Scott, that's something we've seen with fighters throughout the history of CES. And if you're having trouble getting fights as a pro, maybe you're too good for the local circuit and you're not able to get opponents, or whatever the situation may be, management, trainers. When you get with Jimmy Birchfield and he believes in you, you're going to be active, and you better stay in shape and you better stay ready, because Jimmy has taken fighters who fought once a year, once every other year, and they're now fighting 4 or 5 times a year. And all of a sudden your record goes from 1-0 to 10-0 overnight, it seems like, because you're so active and you're fighting so often.
Well, see, you're 100% right. One of the bonuses to doing something like that is you turn to that fighter and say, what are you doing? You can't take your foot off the gas. Do you want to do this or not? You got a promoter that wants to work just as hard as you want to work. You get in the gym, stay active, stay busy, keep training, stay in shape, and you got a promoter that's willing to run with you.
And most importantly about Jimmy Birchfield Sr., he is the pioneer in women's boxing throughout the history, not just in New England, but all over the world. The final decision here from ring announcer Adam Palazzo.
How about a round of applause for both these tough fighters? After 4 rounds, we go to the scorecards. Judge Peter Harry scored the fight 39-37 for Sarah Click. Judge Eddie Scunzio scored the fight 39-37 for Shayna Foppiano. And Judge Frank Lombardi scored the fight 38-38. This fight is a draw.
Well, Scott, what did we say earlier? It's a shame this fight's only 4 rounds. This is a fight we needed to see 6 rounds, not just for entertainment.
Run it back!
But to see who was the winner.
Run it. Where's Parente? Get him on the horn. Run it back. I want to see this one again.
How about right now? Do another 4 rounds right now.
Let's go.
There's going to be an amendment in the contract you can make.
I'm going to go right now. Give them 30 minutes of rest, shower them off, and get them back in there, because both ladies can go.
Absolutely. That was a very entertaining fight. And you see 39-37 each way, and then a 38-38 for a draw. Hats off to Sarah Click and Shayna Foppiano for entertaining the fans here. That was I thoroughly enjoyed that 4-round fight, Scott, and I think you did too.
Absolutely. It was, like I said, both ladies stayed active. Both ladies picked their spots when to turn it on and off. You got to give Sarah credit. This is just her experience, knowing when to sit back, roll, relax. She was definitely a little calmer than Shayna at the moments, but that's what the experience comes from. Shayna's going to take tonight's experience, roll it into the next one, and God help the person that's sitting in front of her next one.
Sarah Click gets her first draw as a professional. And for her, Scott, what impressed me most is a fighter who's not a traditional boxer. You know, has 6 pro fights in MMA, has Muay Thai and kickboxing fights.
It's showing you the crossover between MMA and boxing.
But she looked like a boxer. She looked comfortable. A lot of times you get somebody in MMA to come over, and they may not look like they feel so comfortable in there, but she did, and hats off to her for that.
I think that's the progression of MMA, to be honest. We've talked so many times, you and I, more boxing
Fight
than MMA.
fans, the action continues as we welcome our next fighter to the ring. Ladies and gentlemen, Jose Ortiz.
Jose Ortiz, nicknamed Primetime, comes in with a record of 3-3-2 with 1 knockout, hailing from Jersey City, New Jersey, where he trains at ringside under Sidney Gomez. 3-time Gold Gloves champion. Coming in off a 3-year layoff, and Scott, that's a long time. That's a lot of ring rust you're going to have to shake off against a fighter like Ricky Delossantos. 3 years since his last fight.
Well, 2 things. You have 2 choices when you have 3 years. You either try to do the best you can, not to get overexcited, pace yourself, and kind of steady the ship. Or you turn around and you say, you know what, giddy up.
Yeah, your 2 options are you either fight or you go 4 years.
Well, the idea is to let's get in there and mix it up. Let's knock the rust off. Let's get the butterflies going early. Maybe a nice exchange early. Keep your hands up. Catch a punch, give a punch.
And his opponent, coming to the ring, Ricky Delossantos.
Delossantos, this featherweight is regarded as one of the top prospects here in the Rhode Island and Northeast Circuit, hailing out of Pawtucket, Rhode Island, only 1 town away from Lincoln, Rhode Island. So he truly is fighting at home. Trains at 401 Boxing under Orlando Valls, who we'll see in just a second walk his fighter out. 5-0 with 1 knockout. 28-year-old former Golden Gloves champion with an 11-2 amateur record, now perfect at 5-0 as a pro. But Scott, his opponent's record so far in his 5 fights, 5-4-3. So a lot of experience as an opponent, but not a lot of wins there. And now he's fighting probably the best fighter he's fought in now his 6th pro fight. So we're going to see right now just what he has to offer here as an opponent to Ricky Delossantos.
Well, you know, let's see how the first round goes. 3 years off can make a big difference. So let's see what ends up happening in the first round. First round's going to tell a big story. Ricky ready to come out and mix it up, or is he still tentative with that big layoff?
This is the Anchor Motor Group bout of the evening. This fight is scheduled for 6 rounds in the featherweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He weighed in at 127 pounds. His pro record, 3 wins, 3 losses, and 2 draws. Hailing from Jersey City, New Jersey, ladies and gentlemen, Jose Ortiz. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He weighed in at 126 pounds. His pro record, perfect. 5 wins and no losses. With 1 big victory by way of knockout. He is one of the region's rising featherweight prospects, and he hails from Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Ladies and gentlemen, Ricky Delossantos. Your referee is Mr. Denny Schiavone.
6 rounds in the featherweight division. Ricky Delossantos in the black shorts. Going to be coming out of the red corner. His opponent, Jose Ortiz, in the red shorts, coming out of the blue corner. Ortiz's last fight was in August of 2015, a loss to Tyrone Lucky. Again, a 3-year layoff. 0-1-2 in his last 3 fights. So looking to right the ship here. De Los Santos 5-0 with 1 knockout. Scott, we talked about the activity you get when you're signed with Jimmy Birchfield as a CES fighter. He has 3 fights in 2017, and this is his 3rd fight in 2018. So a guy who decided to turn pro last year, already in his 6th professional fight.
Well, you said it, Pat. You know, if you want to stay busy, you're in the right organization. If you want to take 3 years off, you know, this is not where you want to be. But if you want to come back off a 3-year layoff and get busy again, welcome back. Jimmy works hard. Mr. Birchfield works very hard.
And yesterday at the weigh-in, he told all the fighters that are coming in from out of town that may not live in Rhode Island or Massachusetts, and he said, as you come here and you show class and you fight hard and you're respectful, then you'll be back, win, lose, or draw. And that's a man of his word. I've seen it countless times. A fighter who may not come in here and win, but is respectful to the fans, to the referee, to the fighter he's going against, fights hard, does what he's supposed to do, then they come back. First round of a scheduled 6, De Los Santos and Ortiz. De Los Santos trying to control the center of the ring as he does, backing Ortiz up into the ropes, but Jose does a good job of getting back to the center.
Yeah, Ricky slipped off the ropes pretty good, but he's kind of flat-footed. He's kind of heavy on that back foot, looking to throw the big right hand. Ricky's just taking his time, cutting the ring off. He's not chasing, he's cutting the ring off.
He's showing a lot of composure and control right now for De Los Santos. Ortiz trying to get him almost to chase him a little bit, but a good job by De Los Santos.
Jose's touching him. There's not much on him. He's like finding distance, but he's doing it as he's moving, so he's really not even trying to set up a strong exclamation point type punch at the end of it. He's just kind of staying active. And so this is what we were talking about. Off for 3 years, a little tentative. Let's take it easy the first round, move around, not get hurt, not make a stupid mistake.
8 wins between the 2 fighters, only 2 knockouts. So certainly expect a fight to start out like this, a little feeling out.
Well, Ricky's feeling him out right now.
That was a good job of Ortiz to gain composure on the ropes. It looked like for a second he was going to go through them, and he was able to bounce off. And
well, it's the fighter's responsibility to stay in the ring. You know, if you get pushed or you feel like it's one thing if you slip or something, but if you're sticking your tush out that in between ropes, and tush is an industry term for ass, so in case you guys didn't know that. But if you're sticking it out the ropes, it's up to you to keep your balance. If you're trying to play off those ropes and you slip out, that's on you. Referee can call a count for that.
industry knowledge there by Scott Ream.
There's a nice little flurry for Jose.
And don't worry, Scott, as I promised, there is no censor button here on your headset.
Wow.
First round in the books between De Los Santos and Jose Ortiz. De Los Santos now 6 fights as a pro, and all 6 here at the great Twin River Casino, the East Coast mecca for boxing here in Lincoln, Rhode Island. See his coach Orlando Valls giving instructions in between rounds. Scott, as a former fighter, as a cut man, as a coach, as a trainer, what instructions would you be giving De Los Santos right now in between rounds?
Literally, I just tell Ricky to stay composed. Stay composed, don't chase anything. Cut him off, don't chase him, but make him work. Let's see if he remembers what it's like to be here. Stay composed, work your angles, pick up the pace a little bit now in the second round, see if he can stick around.
Right, Scott, it's certainly one thing to know your opponent may have ring rust. It's another to go in there and try to knock it off in the first round. And De Los Santos has been composed and not let that be a factor so far.
Well, Jose's basically stayed on the outside. You know, he's sliding, he's running.
A lot of backpedaling being done now by Ortiz.
As they clinch up, there's nothing wrong with fighting going backwards. If you know, plenty of people have made a great living at it. You just have to put a little something on it and land clean as you do it, and allow your opponent to come to you as you're backing up.
Oh, Ortiz certainly looks comfortable backing up towards the rope. He's done a good job bouncing off them so far.
I think what you're about to see, though, is you're going to see Ricky find distance like he just did with that right hand right there. He picked the pace up and turned the volume up a couple notches to start off the round.
Delossantos just missed with a big hook there. Now Ricky trying to size up his big shot.
I think you're going to see Ricky go to the body here where Jose likes to hang that hand. And again, there's Jose switching stances. Nice left hook over the top.
A good counter there by Ricky
And there's
Delossantos.
Jose switching back. That was his best combination, was a 1-2-1. This is where we had, again, Ricky pressing, coming forward, carrying the fight. Nice quick snap on that jab.
1 minute left in the second round of a scheduled 6.
Both fighters have a nice little exchange there. Jose's, he's jabbing smartly going backwards. He's trying to show like he has legs and he's moving.
Final 30 seconds to go here in the round.
I think Jose's doing a great job sliding and sticking that jab, but he's eating a lot of them too. Whenever he starts to stand still or not move as much, he's getting touched up pretty quickly by Ricky.
Delossantos in the red shorts and the blue gloves. Sorry, Delossantos in the black shorts and the red gloves. That's Ortiz in the red shorts.
Yeah, both those punches, even in that exchange, both fighters defended each other well.
A third of the way through the fight. Now you look over at Jose Ortiz in his corner, and you know the layoff's been there. You know that he hasn't had a win in his last 3 fights. So for him to step into a fight like this and fight a guy who's 5-0, a pretty good prospect here in Rhode Island, and to go into his hometown and fight him on a layoff, hats off to his team for taking an opportunity like that.
Absolutely. Again, you look at he hasn't fought in a few years, okay. But look at his record. He's got 8 pro fights. He's been around. He wasn't afraid of fighting when he was fighting. So let's be honest. Okay, some time off. We don't know what happened, personal or otherwise. Maybe it's an injury, whatever it happens to be. So he's feeling now's his time to make a step back in. I'm willing to come back. And look at who he's calling out. For all intents and purposes, you got a fighter who's 5-0, making a run. That it's a big step. This isn't a feel you out comeback after 3 years fight. This is a where the hell do I stand fight.
Certain measure stick capability right here going against Ricky Delossantos. Good combination there by Ortiz and a nice counter by Delossantos. Now Ricky has him on the corner on the ropes.
Nice uppercut off the 2 body shots and a stiff jab behind it. Everything Ricky's been throwing off that jab, the jab's been super stiff. It's more been a straight left than it has been a jab. Now, to Jose's credit, he might eat that jab, but he's not sticking around for the right cross or a double jab. Nice right uppercut by Ricky again.
Yeah, Ricky certainly looks like he's very close to landing one of those big punches, but credit to Ortiz. He's had some great defense so far.
His movement is really calling that up. Like I was saying, when he stays on the outside and he's moving around and he's using the whole ring, he's jabbing very well, he's slipping very well. But the second he stops his movement, his feet start to plant at all, Ricky's all over it because he's not chasing, he's cutting him off. As you see right here, he's not chasing, he's cutting the ring off. So the second he stands still, he's planted to punch.
Referee Danny Schiavone steps in for just a second, lets the fighters continue fighting.
Ooh, little short elbow it looked like from Ricky off that uppercut. Well, a good trainer will tell you if you miss with the hook, the elbow should land.
And referee Danny Schiavone, not a guy who misses many tricks. He's usually right on top of that, as we've seen so far.
Nice exchange by both fighters. This is the busiest Jose's been. Halfway through this fight, now halfway through the third. Almost at the halfway point.
Big left hand, right hand there by Delossantos, and you can hear that one all the way up here on the stage. That was a big shot, but Ortiz able to walk right through that.
Got some whiskers. Nice combination by Ortiz right there, but it's being defended very well, and when Ricky fires back, it's got some stink on it.
Delossantos continues to come forward. Final seconds of round number 3. Just about halfway through this scheduled 6-round bout.
Short jab, nice combination, both fighters. Jose backs out to find his distance. When it comes to fighting in that phone booth, Ricky's just a little quicker and a little more powerful.
It's got that left hook there by Delossantos. You're right, it has something on it. It looks like if that lands, that could really do some damage.
Well, if you look in the corner right now, Jose, he's a little tagged up, a little bruised up right now.
Halfway through this fight, both fighters have been pretty busy, Scott, and we really haven't seen much ring rust here for Ortiz. We'll see if again in the fourth and fifth round it starts to settle in.
I don't think it would necessarily be called ring rust. I think he was very apprehensive, not wanting to get caught with anything silly in the first round, which is smart. And then he just slowly picked up the pace. That third round might have been the best round that Jose's had, even though that big right hand we just saw over the top landed.
He did, but you see right here, he battles right back, he ties him up and comes back with a nice combination of his own.
Looks like he's finding his stride right here. These last 3 rounds should be interesting.
We're in the second half of the fight here. Delossantos beats Ortiz to the center of the ring.
That's been happening all night. Ooh, pushed him off the win.
Delossantos looks to stay undefeated, protecting a 5-0 record right now.
Nice liver shot. Came over the top of the right hand afterwards.
And Ortiz battles right back with a nice combination of his own. Delossantos, a good defense.
Now you're starting to see what both fighters like to be, where Ricky likes to be in tight, inside, like we like to say, fighting in the phone booth. And Jose definitely likes to be on the perimeter, likes to stay outside, moving around. Although he's not taking up as much as the ring as he was earlier, he's still backing up, wants to stay outside distance and let Ricky walk in on him. Jose changes his stance, way more frequently. I don't think I've seen Ricky throw anything in the southpaw position.
Delossantos being warned about the shots too low.
Big jab. Like I said, that jab looks like a straight left as opposed to a jab. Nice short left hook by Jose there.
Delossantos doing a good job with his combinations. Third or fourth shot that he needs to connect on to really take this fight over. Fight fans still filing into Twin River Casino. 2 fights to go after this. The co-feature Anthony Marsella in the main event. Nick DeLomba and Chris Singleton for the UBF All-American title. Final minute to go here in round number 4.
Man, this place is getting packed. The crowd's right up on top of us tonight.
No room for anyone else to go.
Oh, he did. Jose just missed with that straight left hand.
Final seconds and counting here in round number 4. Fight starting to settle out a little bit here as both fighters now getting into a groove.
Yeah, once again, you can see where Jose likes to stay at distance, and Ricky just comes forward throwing bombs. And it has a very good short inside game. He shortens his punches up very well, like that left hook on the break.
4 rounds in the book, and Fight Fans CES announcing tonight their next fight, November 21st. And if that date sounds familiar to you, that is the night before Thanksgiving right here at Twin River Casino, CES Boxing. One of the best nights of the year to go out, and it's going to be right here at Twin River Casino. Guaranteed sell-out crowd. You're going to see a lot of fighters competing tonight on that card.
But will you have turkey?
Will we have turkey? That's a good question.
We got to do it like they do on Thanksgiving Day.
We might have to put that in our rider, that if we're going to be here broadcasting, it needs to be a
Jimmy
full turkey.
Birchfield Sr. would
gotta
like
give
to
away a
welcome
turkey leg.
Dave Recchio from Cafe Victoria in the north end of Boston. If you're in the
Well,
north
we are
end,
being
there's a good
produced
chance
today
you'll
by
see Jimmy
Bird's Eye
Birchfield
Sports, so
there.
maybe they can
Welcome,
provide the
David
bird for
Recchio.
us here. That's a good idea. I didn't think about the turkey here during the broadcast.
Well, you know how they do it on in the NFL, where they have the bird with the 6 legs on it and stuff. We need to have something like that and give the fighter of the night a fully dressed bird, minus whatever we eat.
We'll save a leg for him.
I have no problem with that.
2 rounds to go in a scheduled 6-round featherweight battle. Ricky De Los Santos in the black trunks. Jose Ortiz, primetime, in the red trunks. Once again, fans, I'm Pat Sullivan, my broadcast partner, Scott Ream, live here on CES Boxing's Facebook and VIVE. Thank you for making tonight's fight part of your Friday night.
There, that left lead uppercut of Ricky's just fell short. There, that left hook didn't. That left hook didn't.
And Ortiz's neck just snapped back on that one. It looked like De Los Santos could have done some damage, but Ortiz doing a good job disguising it there.
Well, you can see here Jose's touching him up. It's like pitter-patter, but there's not much on it. Now he's scoring. It's being defended fairly well. He's touching him, but nothing that's affecting Ricky in such a manner where he's
Physical
not
damage.
mind throwing right off it. He doesn't feel like he needs to stay defended.
A little swelling opening up there on Ortiz's left eye, just underneath it.
Big right hand. Well, I don't mean big like he looped it. I mean it was a short right hand, but hit Jose just in the chest and backed him up 2 steps. Big left hook.
That left hook has a lot on it too, Scott. If you can connect on that one, that's the punch right there.
We've been saying that all night, where Jose might be touching and maybe scoring a point or 2 here. Everything Ricky lands has got bad intentions on it. Got some power. There it is, overhand right. Left hook again lands. Jose immediately clinches up. And you see Ricky punch out of it with an uppercut. He's complaining about being held. He's complaining about the head.
There it is again, that front left. And I think now, Scott, you see De Los Santos getting comfortable. He's been hit. He knows his defense is doing pretty good right now.
Well,
so
he dropped his hands. He's saying that you're not hurting me.
Scott, fight fans already listening to us. We asked for a bird. They just walked by with KFC. We love them as a sponsor of the show,
I thought you were saying someone flipped us off.
but we want a real bird on Thanksgiving.
Oh, big straight left hand. Yes, we do.
Final seconds of round 5. Probably De Los Santos' best round of the evening so far.
I would have to agree. Oh, big left lead uppercut, staggered Jose. He fought off the ropes well, but it definitely buckled those legs for a second. Nice left hook, short left hook to finish.
We're going to go the 6th and final round here.
These guys get a little PO'd, and that means pissed off at each other.
No censor button.
Well, I immediately self-censor, and then it dawns on me not to.
Okay, Scott, we're going to take you back into the corner here for Ricky De Los Santos. If you're Orlando Bowles, if you're one of his cornermen in there, you've seen what's happened through 5 rounds. He's throwing more punches. He's landing more punches. His defense is good enough right now. Ortiz isn't doing any damage to him so far. Do you let Ricky open it up here and try to go for the knockout, or do you just say, get the win, the kid you're fighting is durable, he's not going down?
I think I turn to him and everything he's doing, he looks to me like he's winning the fight. Only thing I might want to change up a little bit is I might turn around and tell him, back off him. Let this kid come to you a little bit, see what happens. Let's see if he's got the legs. Let's see if he's got anything coming forward. Back off him, let him come. If I was going to change anything. But to be honest, I don't think I would. I think he's done a great job all night long. I think his game plan's been working. He's been cutting the ring off. He's doing well in tight. His punches have more power. They look like they're doing more damage. I don't think I'd change a thing. Oh! A big 1-2 wobbles him down. Ricky's now tearing the body up.
You hear the crowd getting into it. De Los Santos
Those
has him on the
are
ropes.
holding him up. Back off him, and give him some distance here.
Big shot there by De Los Santos. Ortiz does a good job to battle off the ropes.
What a great job by Jose Ortiz to keep himself up, not hit the canvas, and weather this early storm. Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble. This is round 6. We have 2 minutes left in the round. I don't know what he's complaining about to the referee. He went immediately to the clinch.
Oh, big shot there by Ortiz. It actually sent De Los Santos backwards, and it wobbled him a little bit there. But I think that answered the question, Scott, what they were saying in between rounds. They're letting him go for it here. De Los Santos came right out of the gate with the big shot, now settling back into it.
It was a beautiful, clean, crisp 1-2 right on the temple. Now you can see this is Ricky basically playing almost like Tyson, just a peekaboo style, hands up, good defense, walking his man down.
Just missing again with that big left hook.
Because he brings his feet with every punch, he's almost gymming himself, Ricky. But credit to Jose for taking a brutal 1-2, weathering an early storm on the ropes, and his legs look fresh. Short right uppercut by Jose landed.
Final minute to go here in the 6th and final round.
It is Jose Ortiz is almost like goading Ricky, going, what? I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere.
An action-packed fight for sure between these two featherweights.
You can almost hear De Niro, number 1 bow around. Great job. That left hook by Jose might not have everything on it, but it still has a little pop on it.
You hear the fans now starting to chant Ricky. Trying to urge De Los Santos in what they expect to be a big
left
fight.
hook snapped his neck. Ricky lands a big left hook, short right hand, and look at this. That's all it does. It seems to piss Jose off. Can we have 2 more rounds? Right now, somebody sign a contract for 2 more rounds. Let these guys go 8 and not 6.
Second fight in a row, Scott, where we wanted more rounds than we got.
Look at this. How do you not want more of this? Thank you, Mike Parente.
What a good finish to a good fight there, and you see the mutual respect there between the two fighters, De Los Santos and Jose Ortiz. Tell you, Ortiz does not look like a fighter who hasn't competed in 3 years.
He looked great. It was a little slow starting. Okay, there's your 3 years. He might have given away a couple early rounds, but he poured it on. From round 4 on, he looked like a better fighter. It looked like he got better in this fight. Not the better fighter, but a better fighter than the first 3 rounds.
2 fights to go here.
There it was. Man, can we run that back? I want to see just that combination again. Yep, here we go. Great job. Thank you, guys. Watch this short 1-2. He just pop. It's clean. The left hand staggered him, the right hand lands. How he kept his feet, how Jose kept his feet. Ricky goes to the body, 3 consecutive right hands to the body.
And what you like about Ortiz here, too, is not only that he kept his feet, he started punching right out of that the second he was able to get his head from getting hit from De Los Santos.
He didn't stay still and take a beating. He rolled with those punches, allowing them not to land flush, and then allowing him to counter off that roll. So when he got up against those ropes, had he stood still, Ricky would have teed off on him, probably put him down, but he rolled. He didn't have to eat the full brunt of every punch. He was able to counter. A great fight.
Oh, and that's experience that you see with Ortiz right there, too. He knows if you get stuck on those ropes, it's
moving.
hard to battle out of it. He did a great job right there to get off the ropes.
Keep moving.
Let's hear the official decision from ring announcer Adam Palazzo in the center of the ring. The ring announcer letting the suspense build here at Twin River Casino.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 tough rounds, we go to the scorecards. Judge Frank Lombardi, Eddie Scunzio, and Judge Martha Tremblay all score the fight 60-54 for your winner by unanimous decision, Ricky Delossantos. Here to present the Nissan Motor Group Fight of the Night trophy from Anchor Motor Group, it is Mike Breen.
Well, first of all, that was a great fight by Ricky. Congratulations, great fight. And I'd like to thank CES Boxing and Jimmy. And thank you very much. Anchor is right up on 146. Stop by and see us. Thank you very much, and good job, Ricky.
Listen, I want to make this a little clearer. Without sponsorships, we could not do these events. Anchor has stepped up to the plate. If you haven't been up there on 146, where the father established this great place, and Mike's 2 brother-in-laws and Mike have done a wonderful job. Please go up. If you're looking for an automobile, this is the place to be. Mike, thank you very much. Ricky, I want you to thank Encore too.
Thank you, Encore. That's where you gotta go to get your car.
How about thanking your fans out here, or have you already?
Oh, I've been thanking them.
I want you to say it. Your name.
I deeply appreciate all my fans, all my family for the support, being here, rooting me on, buying tickets. I really appreciate it. Gracias a toda la gente que me apoya y para el próximo.
Listen, can this kid fight? You've seen it tonight. Undefeated. Ricky, a lot in store. Ricky will be on our big Thanksgiving Eve show on November 21st.
And I want to dedicate this fight to 2 people that lost, Kevin Emerson and Jameer, Orlando's grandson. Rest in peace. Thank you, Mom, for coming. Let's go!
Ricky Delossantos
Still to
improves
come tonight,
to
our
6-0.
feature and co-feature, Anthony Marsella Jr. coming up next. And in our main event, Nick DeLomba puts his title on the line.
Delossantos improves to 6-0. All 6 fights happening in the last 2 years. Jose Ortiz drops to 3-4-2. Fans, tonight's live boxing is brought to you by CES Boxing and VIVE Network. VIVE Network is a global digital linear ultra HD TV network launching this fall on every device. Viewers will be able to tune in to live sports and entertainment on the world's first and only UHD HDR TV network from smart TVs, set-top boxes, cable, satellite, tablets, and mobiles. Follow at ViveTV_network on Twitter or visit ViveTV.network for more information and updates. Still to come tonight, the co-feature.
Jimmy Birchfield Sr. would like to welcome close friend Richard Chappie from Providence's own Cadillac Lounge. Welcome, Richard.
Co-feature tonight, Anthony Marsella Jr. puts his undefeated record on the line and goes for a perfect 10-0 record against Brandon Berry from West Forks, Maine, about 300 miles north from Twin River Casino. And the main event, Nick DeLomba puts his UBF All-American title on the line against Chris Singleton from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. That should be a great fight here in the main event. Still 2 fights to go here at CES Boxing. Once again, I'm Pat Sullivan, my broadcast partner tonight, Scott Ream, here at the beautiful Twin River Event Center in Lincoln, Rhode Island.
All right, fight fans, it's time for your co-feature bout of the evening. Let's welcome our first fighter to the ring. Ladies and gentlemen, Brandon Berry.
Here comes Brandon Berry, the Cannon, from West Forks, Maine. 13-3-2 with 8 knockouts. Coached by Ed Lavish out of Boston Boxing Club. And there you see Brandon Berry walk into the ring here. He started his career off 8-0. He is 2-2-2 in his last 6 fights. And it's his first appearance here in Rhode Island. All of his fights have taken place so far in New Hampshire and Maine. That is Brandon Berry from West Forks, Maine.
And his opponent coming to the ring, Anthony Marsella Jr.
And here comes Anthony Marsella Jr., the 23-year-old out of Team Serious and Mayweather Boxing. Anthony Marsella, no stranger to Twin River. This is his 9th fight here in Twin River and his 10th fight as a professional overall. His 3rd fight in 2018. As you see walking him here to the ring, his father, Anthony Marsella Sr., and promoter Jimmy Birchfield Sr. There's Anthony Marsella coming out from behind the curtain. Head coach for this fight, Victor Fagnan, out of Team Serious. Here we have it, 6 rounds, super lightweight battle. Brandon the Cannon Berry against Anthony A1 Marsella Jr. We head to the center of the ring to ring announcer Adam Palazzo for the official fighter introductions.
This is your co-feature bout of the evening. The following fight is scheduled for 6 rounds in the super lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks. He weighed in at 145 pounds. His pro record, 13 wins, 3 losses, and 2 draws, with 8 big victories by way of knockout. Hailing from West Fork, Maine, ladies and gentlemen, Brandon Berry. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the white trunks with the red trim. He weighed in at 143 pounds. His pro record, perfect. 9 wins and no losses, with 4 big victories by way of knockout. He is pound for pound one of Providence's brightest stars. Hailing from Providence, Rhode Island, Twin River Casino, A1 Anthony Marsella Jr. Your referee is Eddie Claudio.
Okay, both trunks are good, so let's keep the blows and skill up, okay? You're familiar with the rules. Obey my commands and protect your old times, okay? Put your up. Good luck to both. God bless.
Here we go, 6 rounds. In the super lightweight division, Anthony Marsella Jr. wearing the red and white trunks coming out of the red corner. His opponent, Brandon Berry, in the black trunks coming out of the blue corner. And Scott West Forks, Maine, a long way away from here from Lincoln, Rhode Island.
You can't get there from here.
But Brandon Berry is something you'll appreciate. Drives 250 miles just one way to get to the Boston Boxing Club twice a week where he trains. So 500 miles round trip twice a week just so he can get the training, because in his hometown of West Forks, well, I'll tell you right now, if there's 40 people watching at home, the entire population of West Forks is listening, because there's only 40 people in the town of West Forks, Maine.
Well, you know what? There's a guy that's dedicated who wants to learn, and, he wants to get the best he can, so you don't mind going the extra mile. Of course, 250 of them. But that's dedication, and that's what you need in this game. If you really want to try to make something of yourself, Ali said it best, the fight's won and lost on the road, whether it's running it or driving to get to the gym.
True road warrior there for Brandon Berry. Anthony Marsella Jr. 9-0 with 4 knockouts, trying to stay perfect and get his 10th victory here. Made his pro debut at nearby Foxwoods. Been all Twin River since.
Anthony's flashing that jab out. Brandon's doing a great job with good head movement. And now Anthony did a great idea. You're missing the head, go to the body. You can't find the head, you'll find the body.
Marcel yesterday, when I asked what his strength is as a fighter, he said his defense. And we've seen Scott over his past state fights here at Twin River. He's just got progressively better every single time he steps through the ropes.
It's a nice, clean lead jab he has. Nice, he feints the body, comes to the head with it. Nice double left hook combination there.
Good job by Brandon Berry.
Nice,
Came
I
back
love
with a
this
nice
straight
shot.
right hand, straight right hand to the body. Then he comes up top, straight right hand. Nice, crisp jab. Brandon lands a jab, and then Anthony makes him answer, make him pay for it with the double left hook.
Marcella coming off a split decision victory back here in May against Ricardo Maldonado.
See, there's a couple schools of thought when you're the shorter fighter fighting a taller guy. You might have to walk him down, take some punches to get inside and stay there. And then there's another one that you want to stay small and make that taller fighter come to you and overextend. And let him come into your world, let him close the distance because he can't hit you.
Berry giving up 3 inches of height here to the taller Marcella. 10 seconds go here in round number 1.
Lots of punches landed by Marcella. That's a great job working the body.
Again, Marcella, this is his 3rd fight in 2018. 4 times he fought in 2017. So 7 times in the past 2 years for Anthony Marcella here with CES at Twin River. And Scott, we've seen every single fight even getting better and better every time he gets through the ropes. And I think what he's done successfully is mixing up the shots to the body and to the head. And we saw there he wasn't just changing up whether he was aiming his punches, but he was making combinations, body to head and back to the body. And that's what's really impressed me most about Anthony throughout his past 2 years as a professional athlete.
Well, when you land your body punches, when you land a couple of jabs, that's what starts to let your feints work. If you're starting to feint, if you haven't landed anything, your feints aren't going to work. I have no reason to respect any movement. But now he's landing some body shots. He's landing a couple of head shots. So he feinted the jab to the body, was able to come straight upstairs with a beautiful, clean jab. A straight right hand to the body that he followed up with a straight right hand to the head. He's mixing it up well. And he's also doing it from distance. He's not jamming, not overly jamming. Getting tied up a little bit, but not too bad.
Brandon Berry with 13 wins and only 3 losses. Aiming to take that trip down from West Forks, Maine, and upset the hometown Anthony Marcella Jr. Marcella, who splits his training between Team Sirius and Victor Fagnan here in Rhode Island, in the
Victor's a great coach.
and the Mayweather Boxing Club out in Las Vegas.
Nice lead left hook by Brandon. It was defended well, but really came up kind of Joe Frazier-ish.
Jab there by Marsella to keep Berry honest.
He's just measuring really well, Marcelo. He's finding, he has pretty good command of his distance, of his own distance. He knows when Brandon's just outside his range and then boom, right on it. So that's something he's gotten better and better at over the last few fights as well, was knowing his own distance. Nice straight right hand lands there.
Marcelo, the busier fighter so far for the first round and a half.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of these punches might be landing on Brandon's forearms or his shoulders, but that's going to pay dividends over the fight where he can't keep his hands up like you want.
Marcelo Jr. in the white trunks with the red trim. Brandon Berry in the black trunks.
And part of the reason why Anthony's landing that jab and snapping it off so well is that Brandon's done nothing to earn Anthony's respect. Nothing's landed that Brandon's landed. That might be the first one with anything on it that's actually caught his attention and made Brandon not want to come forward, made him not want to venture in.
Nice combination there by Anthony. He goes for the big punch to follow it up. Berry does a good job just to get outside of it.
I like the angles Marcelo's playing. He 2-3 shots, pivots off, finishes left, finishes with that left. That liver shot kind of hurt him. He ended that one. He's still hurt from that liver shot.
Yeah,
that right elbow. That right elbow's really low. That right hand's really low. Marcelo needs to dig that body again.
Yeah,
dig
Marcelo
it again.
does it again. Just misses with a big
He's gonna
left
dig
hand,
it
and there it
again.
goes.
There
It
it
touches
is.
both gloves to the canvas, and that was only a matter of time, Scott. You picked right up on it. That right side of his lower body was really starting to weaken on him.
Beautiful, clean liver shot, but he kept that elbow in tight, and that's the round.
Saved by the bell there, because Berry was going to have a hard time getting right back up to walk back to the center of the ring, and you could see what...
Let's get in Brandon's corner if we can, because there's a lot of swelling there, and let's see what that corner of that cut man can work with the liver.
And what was impressive, Scott, is you could see Brandon fighting a lot lower. His defense was lower, and all Marcella did was started throwing hooks to his head at a lower angle, and that was pretty impressive to see Anthony pick up on the fly there.
Well, you'll see this liver shot land beautifully, slips right in. You'll see his left hand come right in.
And right there you see Berry now hunched over a little bit more.
We're already past where it initially landed. That's why you see his right elbow right across his belt line. He's basically trying to support
Here it comes. Yeah, Anthony walks him into the corner.
He lands it again just behind it. And
there's a shot right there.
You go a little further back, that initial left hand to the right side of Brandon's body by Marcella just totally was a beautifully clean liver shot.
Scott, how long does it take for a fighter to get their legs back after getting hit with a liver shot like that?
A really clean liver shot? It hurts like no one's business. We're not going to get out of this round.
And right
Big
now, Marcella really
hand.
piling it on. He's hitting with the left and the right. Berry doing everything he can to cover up and
now, I can understand why Anthony wants to hunt the head, but I would be all over his body. I would Mickey Wood. I'd body, head, body.
Marcella now seeing the green light.
Nice uppercut left hook. How long does it take to recover? Everybody's a little different, but there's no worse pain than get hit in the I'd rather get knocked out than get hit in the liver. But it fades. Once it's gone, it's gone. That's the funny part. 5 minutes later, you're up walking around, no problem, so long as you know you're not crapping blood. Anthony's doing a nice job of working the distance. He should just really go downstairs, though.
And Berry really not able to get in any sort of rhythm here. Is Marcella able to cut off the angles and
his breathing, you know, that it really knocks the wind out of you. The pain is serious. I relate it to getting unplugged. It's all of a sudden you're plugged into the wall and somebody unplugged. Oh, he dug that liver again. Yeah. Dug it beautifully and clean. He's got to go back to it.
Yeah, now you see Berry just bending over
Anything
and getting
to
hit
the
with
body.
these shots.
Anything to the body is going to put him down. Those legs are
Still a minute and a half to go here in round number 3. That's a long time here.
I think
Brandon
Anthony
Berry
sees it. Anthony's feeling it.
So now setting up the combination.
There's tons of, Brandon's getting really swelled up too to the face, and didn't look like they did much in between rounds to that. Tough kid.
Well, yeah, Berry's not going down unless he's put down. He's going to continue to come forward. He's not driving 500 miles round trip for training just to go out easy.
No, there's no two ways about it. Look at his record. He's 13-3-2. There he is, flurrying back. That's
Good
nice
combination
to see.
there by Berry.
He might just be starting to feel better. That's how long it might take. Anthony's got to dig that body again to see if it's nice left hook. This kid's
that
got
was a quick. He snapped that real quick.
Brandon's got whiskers.
Berry still continuing to fight. Final seconds here of round number 3.
Oh, great job by Brandon of recovering this round. He might not have won it, but he recovered. It looks like he's got his feet back under him, a little more swagger.
Now, Scott, he may not have fully recovered or won this round, but he definitely reminded Anthony he's in a fight, and it's not a one-way fight.
Yeah, well, the boys touch gloves and mutual show respect right there.
Halfway through this fight, and Anthony Marsella doing pretty good so far. He's got the combinations going, and now we see the corner here.
I don't know why you're not working. It took the Cutman 20 minutes before he got in the end swell. You got two eyes swollen up and you're not working this. I'll be quiet. Or not!
Scott, you're not here to be quiet. You have a microphone. Scott Ream, cut man not just for boxers, but also for MMA, most notably for the UFC and CES MMA. He does both jobs and does them well. And you're right, Scott. They're letting that swelling stay the way it is. Halfway through this fight now in round number 4, Anthony Marsella Jr. White trunks with the red stripes with a perfect record, 9-0 with 4 knockouts. His opponent, Brandon Berry, black trunks, 13 wins, 3 losses, 2 draws, and 8 knockouts.
Look who's coming forward here. Brandon doing a fantastic job of recovering from that earlier liver shot and taking a bit of punishment and getting dropped in that 2 rounds ago. He's coming forward. He's setting pace here. Good for him. Nice lead left hook.
I think the last 30 seconds of round number 3, Scott, gave Berry a little bit of a boost there. He realized that he can get through with some of his combinations. He just has to come forward.
They're smaller guys. Sometimes you got to take some punishment to give it. Got to close the distance. Anthony's trying to measure him off and stiff arm him, and Brandon's just running right through that.
Nice uppercut there by Marsella.
Well, you can see where he's showing you that he's got a chin. He's showing you he can take a punch. But you see where most everybody's vulnerable is you get hit square up in that liver. So if I'm Anthony, I definitely want to come downstairs again as quickly as possible. See if he's still hurt at all from that. There he goes.
So mixing up the combinations again, and now, Scott, you see that cut really starting to open up on the left side there.
They never touched it. They never touched the left side of his face. The swelling turns into a cut because the corner didn't work. Nice double left hook.
Yeah, you see Marsella goes back to the body there, that same side, and he connects on the jab right to that side of the face. It's now starting to bleed. Minute to go here in round number 4. Entertaining fight here by Marsella and Berry.
Brandon doing a good job. He's actually been backing Anthony off and keeping Anthony a little on his heels. Not that Anthony's taking a round off, but he's not as busy as he has been in the past 3 rounds.
You're right, Scott. He's not taking the round off. May have slowed down a bit here, but that's because of Berry's offense, not because of any other
No,
reason.
I think you're right. I think he caught his respect at the end of that last round, and it took 3 rounds to get there, but he's there now.
But that left hook is just snapping so quickly from Marsella.
He throws it very quick, and he's got a little stink on it as well.
Just missed on that semi-uppercut there. Final seconds here, round number 4.
Nice left hook to end on the break. Both fighters landed punches on the break.
Yeah, good snap by Berry as well.
Picking up the pace here.
A series of hooks being thrown by both fighters. Four rounds in the books. Right now, we'll take a look in here at Brandon Berry's corner. You can see them working above the eye.
Yeah, well, he's not working the swelling on the other side of his face. Apparently, this guy can work one side of his face at a time, and that's it.
Once again, fight fans, I'm Pat Sullivan. He's Scott Ream, bringing this action live. CES Boxing here on Facebook and VIVE from Twin River Casino in Lincoln, Rhode Island. 2 rounds to go here in this co-feature, and still to come, 8 rounds for the UBF All-American Super Lightweight title. The champion, Nick DeLomba, puts the belt on the line against Baton Rouge, Louisiana's Chris Singleton.
Now, I know this sounds a little odd, but if you can find, Anthony's been really tattooing him from the left side, getting that liver shot in, that left hook's been landing really well. If he could, that's what I was waiting for, was the right hand. Let him apply the right side. Not a straight right hand, kind of a looping little shovel hook. I think you see how low that left hand of Brandon's has been. He really hasn't attacked the right side too much. A looping right hand here could pay dividends for Anthony. Because that left hand has definitely earned his respect.
Great combination there by Berry as he comes right forward to Marsella. That might have been the best combination so far for Berry this fight.
Absolutely. The last 2 rounds, Berry's actually picking up pace. There's that double left hook again.
And now Marsella has him up on the ropes, and he's unloading on him. Berry punching off the ropes as best he can, but Marsella really applying the pressure. Good job from Berry to get out of danger there.
Yeah, I don't know how far out of danger he got, but he did get off the ropes, you're right. And I think right now, Anthony can turn him here and flurry out.
A lot of time left in round number 5. Berry now trying to work Marsella in the corner, trying to use that for his advantage.
I gotta tell you, Brandon is doing a great job of leaning on him, kind of shouldering him into that corner and keeping him there. Taking a couple of punches. Now he might be letting him out. Anthony's turning the corner on this. There's that right hand.
Anthony was using some great angles to get out of danger there, and he connects on Berry, and now he's applying it on him.
That's what he was doing in the first 2 rounds, was a nice step over and changing the angle, changing his profile.
A little over a minute to go here in round number 5.
He had tons of swelling on the left side of his face.
Swelling on both sides of his face now as Marsella continues to apply the pressure. Now has him on the ropes. Berry trying to punch out of it, and he does again.
Kid's tough as nails.
Comes back with a beautiful right hand, just connected on the right side of Marsella. Now Anthony.
He flurried, a nice flurry, and then you see how well Brandon just shifted himself off the ropes, getting himself out of harm's way, and fighting right back.
.30 seconds to go in round number 5.
I want to look up who the 3 guys are that beat this kid.
Tough kid, Brandon Berry, giving Anthony Marsella all he has here.
There's some speed on the combinations. Nice right hand over the top. That left hook has not missed tonight.
No, he's connected it just about every time he's thrown it this round, too.
There's the right hand at the end. That's what I've been looking for, a little more right hand.
5 rounds in the books. We're going to go to the 6th and final round. And Scott, you look at Anthony Marsella, only 23 years old, now in his 10th professional fight. For a young kid like this who's had so much success early on in boxing, you look at an opponent like Brandon Berry coming forward, both eyes are swelling underneath both eyes. You had so much success going to the body. That round, it looked like he took a little bit off going to the body. Maybe he got a little over anxious by seeing the swelling on his eyes, trying to really go for that big punch.
Well, I think, Anthony, this is a great learning experience for him now. You know, where he's going to turn around and now he's using ends on the other side of his face. I mean, no, I think this is one of the things where he's going to push himself, he's going to dig down, and this is where a young boxer learns. You get into those later rounds against a guy that's not going anywhere. 13-3 is an incredibly respectable record in this game. Now, Anthony's had a lot of success early. This is a real tough kid. He's not going anywhere unless you bring him there, and he's not going willingly. So this is the last round. Watch. I guarantee you Brandon turns up the pace. Anthony needs to stay composed and keep busy.
Brandon Berry, 7 years Marcella's elder. A lot of boxing experience in his corner as well. Now in his 18th professional fight. Final round between these two super lightweights. Can Marcella stay undefeated and get his 10th pro win, or?
Now you just saw Marcella throw 3, maybe 4 shots off that jab, and Brandon's missing. He's slipping, he's ducking, he's rolling underneath it. That jab's not there. You know, good coaches will tell you. Stevie May said it earlier in Andy's fight. You know, you can't find the head, you hit the body. You go to the body. And that's what Anthony needs to do. He's had great success with finding the body. Don't hunt the head in this last round. Score points.
Yeah, rounds 3 and 4 where Marcella really was fighting strong is when he was going to the body. The last round he took it off a little bit. And I think Berry's just so tough as a fighter. If you hit him in the face, he's going to keep coming forward. You have to stop him from coming forward by going to the body.
You saw what just happened there. Anthony just missed a big right hand. But he's kind of head hunting right now. Both fighters show a little tired. 6 rounds, but Anthony has not missed bodies, but he's got to go to the body.
Anthony's thrown a lot of punches in these 6 rounds.
He's not landing anything super clean right now. The more accurate fighter at this point seems to be Brandon. For this round, not for the entire fight. There it is, landed.
Great jab there by Berry, right through the gloves of Marcella. Anthony coming off a split decision victory in May, a fight that he thought he won. So not leaving anything to chance here, making sure he's going to do everything he can to impress the judges in the final minute of the final round.
But with 40 seconds left in this round, if things go the same way they've been going, I think Anthony's won the fight on points for sure. But I got to tell you, Brandon looks like he just picks up steam as the fight goes on. An 8-rounder would not be out of the question for him. He does not look like he can't do 2 more rounds. I mean, the corner can control the swelling.
Is this the 3rd fight in a row, Scott, where we're sitting here asking for more rounds?
It actually is. What is Parente doing? He's matching up fantastic fights where these guys are finishing stronger going down the line.
Final seconds to go. What a performance by Anthony Marcella Jr. and Brandon Berry. These fans did not disappoint. This sold-out crowd here at Twin River.
Another great fight.
And what you appreciate, too, in the last couple of fights is they've been so competitive that you see the mutual respect that these fighters have. And I think that's a feeling you get fighting on the stage here at CES in Twin River. You have a sold-out crowd, and I think it brings out the best in these fighters.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at your competition level. You look at, you know, what you got. This is where you want to be. If you want to start to make some progress in your boxing career, if you want to work hard, you got a promoter that's going to work hard with you. So, you know what? If you're a boxer and you're a trainer and you think you've got somebody worth their salt, you know, this is where you want to be. So, as much hustle as you want to put in your gym, in your work ethic, CES is willing to do the same.
Marcella, 10 professional fights in the books. Brandon Berry, 18 in the books. And I will tell you something, fight fans. The performance that Brandon Berry put on tonight and the class that he's shown in this ring, Jimmy Birchfield and Michael Parenti will definitely be bringing Brandon Berry back down here.
How can you not? I mean, he got dropped on a beautiful punch. A beautiful liver shot. He's up at the 8 count, solid. Fights his way back to start pushing the pace in the later rounds. It was a great job.
Well, let's see who earned this decision victory. Will it be Anthony Marsella Jr. or Brandon Berry? Let's go down to the center of the ring for Adam Palazzio's official read of the decision.
Fight fans, after 6 tough rounds, we go to the scorecards. Judge Eddie Scunzio, Judge Peter Harry, and Judge Martha Tremblay all scored the fight 60-53 for your winner and still undefeated, A1 Anthony Marsella Jr.
60-53 on all
we're
three
here with
scorecards.
Anthony Marsella Jr., now 10-0 in your professional career. Anthony, you came off a really tough fight last time out. You really had to dig deep to get that win. Was this your most complete performance to date?
I think as far as my boxing ability goes, yes. I was looking for the stoppage. I think if I wasn't gunning for it so much, I could have set some things up and made the knockout come a little bit easier. But it was some great rounds of boxing. I want to take my hat off to Brandon Berry. He's a tough fighter, durable guy. Listen, he's doing his thing in his backyard. He built a great-looking record, and I wish the best of him in the rest of his career. But there's definitely still more on the table that no one has seen from Anthony Marsella, so I'm looking forward to the next one.
All right, folks, ladies and gentlemen, your winner, now 10-0 from Providence, Rhode Island, Anthony Marsella Jr.
I would like to have a little surprise to tell you all. After the victory that Anthony had tonight against a very, very tough guy, Anthony, I have a surprise for you. And in speaking with the WBC, you are going to be fighting for the WBC Youth World title. Let's hear it for Anthony. Stay tuned on that one.
Here you have an official statement by promoter of Classic Entertainment and Sports, Jimmy Birchfield Sr., telling Anthony Marsella Jr. that now at 10-0, his next fight, likely going to be the night before Thanksgiving, for the WBC Youth title.
Well, you know, you're talking WBC, you're talking 10-0, you know, we've been talking about what CES tends to bring to its fighters that want to work hard. Anthony's definitely making that happen, and so is Jimmy Birchfield.
And you look at the list
Fight
of fighters
fans, don't go anywhere. The UBF All-American title is on the line next, as Cranston's own Nick DeLomba battles Chris Singleton.
You look at the fighters who have won youth titles, especially the WBC youth title. It's a laundry list of current world champions, former world champions. It's a huge stepping stone. But if you earn the right to fight for that and you win that title, that puts you on a straight path to the top 10 ratings, to fighting the elite in the sport, and to getting the real green belt around your waist.
Yeah, you know, we just saw it the other night with the Danny Garcia fight, and everybody's saying that's the one I want. And this is an opportunity to put yourself in a fantastic position to put yourself in line for it. Well, good luck to Mr. Marsella.
Fans, tonight's live boxing is brought to you by CES Boxing and VIVE Network. VIVE Network is a global digital linear ultra HD TV network launching this fall on every device. Viewers will be able to tune in to live sports and entertainment on the world's first and only UHD HDR TV network from smart TVs, set-top boxes, cable, satellite, tablets, and mobile.
Twin River Casino, are you ready for your main event? Giuseppe, that wasn't loud enough. What do you think? No? Twin River Casino, are you ready for your main event? Well, then let's do it. Let's welcome the challenger to the ring. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Singleton.
Here is Chris Singleton, the challenger for the UBF All-American title, hailing from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, with a record of 18-5-2 with 8 knockouts.
And his opponent, the champion, Nick DeLomba.
DeLomba with a record of 13-2 with 3 knockouts. The 28-year-old hailing from Cranston, Rhode Island nearby. Training out of New England Combat under Victor Fagnan, who we just saw coaching Anthony Marsella. And what fight fans around here know is when Nick DeLomba walks out, you better be ready to dance.
Nick will do a lap or two around the ring before he does a round.
Always coming out to James Brown and keeping fans entertained and ready to go. And actually, Nick DeLomba leaves the idea on what song he comes out to up to Coach Fagnan. So not only is he a good boxing coach, but he's got a great taste in music.
If you look in the back, you see Vic sitting there grappling into a jazz plant, turning around. He's very nimble.
Nick DeLomba and Chris Singleton, 8 rounds for the UBF All-American Super Lightweight Championship. For the official fighter introductions, let's hear it from Adam Palazzo.
At this time, I'd like to welcome the U.S. Marine National Color Guard from Providence, Rhode Island. I'd like to ask you all to please rise. Gentlemen, please remove your caps.
Okay.
And here to sing our national anthem, national recording artist, Miss Christine Case.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Christine Case. And a big thank you to the U.S. Marine Corps National Color Guard from Providence, Rhode Island. This event tonight has been sanctioned by the Rhode Island Department of Business Regulation, Division of Gaming and Athletics Licensing. Elizabeth Tanner, Director. Pamela Toro, Associate Director. Christina Tobias, Chief Licensing Examiner. The Honorable Peter Timothy, Gaming and Athletics. Your referees have been Eddie Claudio and Danny Schiavone. Judges, Frank Lombardi, Peter Harry, Martha Tremblay, and Eddie Scunzio. Your physicians ringside have been Dr. Peter de Blasio and Dr. Daniel Hochberger. Fight fans, this is your main event. 8 rounds for the super lightweight UBF All-American title. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the white trunks. He weighed in at 138 pounds. His pro record, 18 wins, 5 losses, and 2 draws, with 8 big victories by way of knockout. Hailing from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Singleton. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the black trunks. He weighed in at 140 pounds. His pro record, 13 wins, 2 losses, with 3 big victories by way of knockout. He is the current UBF All-American Champion, hailing from the fighting city of Cranston, Rhode Island. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Nice DeLomba. Your referee is Danny Schiavone.
Ruin over the rules in the dressing room. I expect you to obey my commands at all times. Keep the bout clean. Touch them up. Get back to corners. Good luck.
Here we go, 8 rounds for the UBF All-American title, a belt that Nick DeLomba currently holds. Once again, fight fans, I'm Pat Sullivan, my broadcast partner tonight, Scott Ream. So happy you can make CES Boxing and Fight Night a part of your Friday night as both fighters come sprinting out of the corner and meet in the middle of the ring. That's Nick DeLomba in the black shorts and Chris Singleton in the white shorts.
Yeah, Chris definitely wanted center of the ring right away.
It's almost like first one to the center gets an extra point for the round. That's how fast they came out, like dodgeball. DeLomba's last fight just 2 months ago, a first round knockout win.
Well, it looks like both fighters are looking to open up the round with a little authority.
Singleton fighting for the first time in the great state of Rhode Island. 10 of his last 12 fights have been in his hometown of Baton Rouge. And it's got his gym back home, Pro Elite Boxing. Know somebody else whose gym name is Pro Elite?
I think they would be off.
We are the Pro Elite Training Center.
Yeah, well, you get a good name and then you change it. Well, you know what? Good luck to him tonight. Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Singleton, an 8-time Louisiana Gold Gloves champion. Started his career off 12-0. A guy now fighting for his 26th time as a professional fighter. That's a lot of pro fights for a boxer, for sure. A lot of experience coming out of the blue corner.
Well, you're going to see that like we had earlier in the Sarah Click fight, where you see that experience pay dividends in the later rounds, where he's been here before, he won't be overexerting himself, he knows his body, he knows what he's doing later in the fight. So this is a nice test for Nick to see where he sits in the grand scheme of things. And as a title defense, this is a fantastic challenge.
Again, this is an 8-round fight for DeLomba's UBF All-American title.
Watch your heads, fellas.
The 28-year-old DeLomba, hailing out of Cranston, Rhode Island, in New England Combat, where he's trained by Victor Fagnan.
Chris has landed a nice short inside shots here. He's got a nice short uppercut that's landed, a nice short liver shot. Nick answers back. Oh, no one wanted to take their eyes off each other on that.
Oh, Chris Singleton did not come all the way from Baton Rouge, Louisiana to go home without a fight here. Interesting, last night I talked to Singleton about training for this title fight, and he's recently gone vegan, Scott. So he said that it was actually the easiest weight cut of his life. He woke up the day of the weigh-in and only had to lose a single pound because of his new diet where he eats just fruit, vegetables, and other vegan substitutes. And that's a diet I know that you could have not done as a fighter.
You out of your mind? I didn't like eating less meat.
A dedication that Singleton put into his training camp to try to get in the best possible shape. And if he was able to get that lean and not have to cut weight for a fight, that shows that he's fighting at his optimal weight right now.
No, without a doubt. And you know what? All the power to him if that's a lifestyle change that also he's found a way to adapt to his boxing game, then God bless him. But I couldn't do it.
Good flurries going on here to start the second round.
A little shoulder bumping going on.
Yeah, these fighters fighting very close to each other.
You would think Nick would want to stay out and work a little bit of distance, but a little warning to Christopher there. That's that rabbit punch. This is a nice little flurry by Nick.
Nick, no stranger to 8-round fights, Scott, something very rare in this sport. Nick DeLomba actually made his pro debut in a 6-round fight.
I remember we called that fight here.
We did call that fight a couple years ago here, and we had to look at the bout sheet twice to make sure we saw that a pro debut in a 6-round fight, but at the time he was trained by Gary Boletto, and they felt that he was ready to jump right into a 6-round fight. It went the distance. It was a good fight, and they were right. Nick had the conditioning at the time to do so.
Well, you know what? Coming out of the gate, that's a really tough call, but I mean, Gary Boletto made that call for him, so.
And at that point in your career, Scott, it's not even just the conditioning and the athleticism that's ready for that fight, but you have to be ready to fight a 6-round opponent. So someone who's already had a handful of fights at that time, which is really the biggest part.
He's had 3 to 5 4-rounders before he bumped up to 6. Nick just kind of pushing Chris back on the ropes, and Chris coming off the ropes with a nice right hand over the top.
And Singleton covers up very well here.
Big right hook from Nick that landed. Short right hands in the clinch by Nick. Both fighters looking to punch out of that clinch.
Yeah, still a good feeling out process here between the two fighters.
Well, if you look at them, it looks like their front legs are tied together on a 12-inch rope. They only can go so far. Nice body work on the break, and an overhand right and left hook by Chris.
And again, another stare down after the round. two fighters are not fans of each other right now.
I don't believe they'll be going for tea and crumpets tomorrow morning. I could be wrong.
Singleton, a veteran of 150 amateur fights before he turned pro. He also won 2 national titles. I asked him what got him started into boxing, and he said grandmother Willie Mae started him in boxing down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Well, you know what? If Nana says fight, you fight.
That's right. You really can't say no to Nana, especially when she gives you a pair of gloves and says go at it. DeLomba, on the other hand, said he started boxing after watching Floyd Mayweather fight Arturo Gatti, and that night he decided, I want to become a boxer and try to see what this is all about. That was such a fun fight to watch, and here he is in the main event defending his UBF All-American title. Come a long way since watching that fight on TV.
Anything with any fight with Gotti, and it was a fun fight. Well, Chris has really come on strong. He's throwing some real solid punches to the body. It's not so much pot shotting, but they're single punches, one at a time. But they're not pot shots. They got a lot of power on them. And Nick's now answering back.
And now DeLomba almost in a full circle around Singleton throwing punches.
That's that. I really like that nice pivot, change of direction, change your profile, make that your opponent follow you, and you can actually tee off as they're turning into you.
And again, both fighters so close to each other and similar stances.
Is it me, but the heavyweight we had tonight fought at distance and boxed, and our lighterweight guys are just taping their foreheads together and beating the snot out of each other. Industry term.
Snot?
Snot.
Fans learning the lingo back home, watching on CES Boxing's Facebook and VIVE.
Nice pivot off that double left hook. It's funny, it's like you can see Nick wanting to make that turn, and somehow or another, whether he's jamming himself, maybe half and half, or Chris is jamming him, that left to the liver is just going long. He's just putting it on his hip or past it. A little accidental headbutt there.
And that's certainly going to happen when these fighters are fighting so close together like that.
That's great movement on Nick's part.
Yeah, Nick's done a great job of circling his opponent when they're stuck in the center of the ring. If you could do a little bit more, open it up a little bit.
Now you see Chris fighting back here, and he's throwing great punches, great counter punches to the body. The trouble is they're one at a time. I'd like to see him put 2 or 3 together. If they're landing, they got great power on them, but it's just one. You want to win this round, you want the judges to know you're still there, throw a couple. And Nick just threw 3 or 4, changes that angle, throws 3 or 4 again. There, just like that.
Final seconds of round number 3.
In a really close round, you know, the judges are looking at maybe who's busier, who's landing more punches, who's slipping more punches. So
The referee, Danny Schiavone, had to pull the fighters apart there at the end of the fight.
he didn't let him take 2 steps. He had his hand in his back pocket.
3 rounds in the books. DeLomba now in his 16th pro fight. You see his coach treating it like it's his first pro fight. You see a good exchange here, Scott. And then that's the end where Schiavone had to literally turn Chris Singleton around.
It was a great job by Schiavone right there. He knew what was going to happen. It looks like he had his hand all but on him at the 1 second mark just to give him a yank at the end.
Tell you what, Scott, this is DeLomba's 16th fight as a pro. It's Singleton's 26th fight as a pro. Danny Schiavone's probably done 1,000 fights in the same ring right here, so he's not going to let that go by.
Well, that's why he's working the main event. Nice exchange by both fighters. Let's see, there's Chris a little more active. 2-3 punch combinations.
Again, both fighters trying to open up, but they're just so close together.
Well, this is actually more advantageous, of course, for the shorter fighter. But Chris is not throwing combinations. He's throwing one or two. There's a nice left to the liver right over the top. Oh, that's something very, very rare where the fighter backs himself into the referee. Nice combination by Nick.
There we go. Now Nick trying to back him up. He's throwing a lot of punches, but at the end of it,
he's got to come down. There it is. He's got to drop down and try not to punch himself out here.
a bad move there by Singleton, Scott. He got out of the flurry, smiled, put his hands down, and got stuck in it again.
Well, right now, he's not clinching. They're like leaning on each other. So there's not clinch work. Singleton's still trying to fire back, but unlike Brandon on the earlier fight, he's not rolling. Nice left hook by Nick. Another nice left hook on the break. Three left hands, double jab, left hook.
Minute left in round number 4. Seconds to go here in round number 4, a round that could really be persuaded by a few punches, and that was a good overhand shot right there by Singleton.
Anthony's doing a great job there. You know why I called him Anthony?
Anthony did do a great job in the last fight.
You know why I called him Anthony? Because he just made the same move Anthony did in the last fight. So sorry, Nick. There's that pivot move that both fighters have been doing. You know, it's a couple of quick punches, quick pivot over. So I'm compared you to Anthony for a split second there, Nick. Not a bad thing.
A lot of similarities. They train together. They
nice flurry right there.
Here we go. DeLomba now trying to open things up, but Singleton covers right back.
Definitely finished the round strong. We still got a staring contest out of one eye.
Great finish there by Nick DeLomba. I mean, he really finished that round strong, and that's what he's going to have to do to open this fight up. Halfway through, still 4 rounds to go in this main event, brought to you by Jimmy Birchfield's Classic Entertainment and Sports.
Who's Classic Entertainment and Sports?
Jimmy Birchfield's Classic Entertainment and Sports. Jimmy Birchfield, Sr., the promoter. Mike Parenti, the matchmaker. Let's take a look at the replay here, Scott. This is the flurry that DeLomba really opened up on. You see back-to-back left hooks, and then he really applies it on here.
Yeah, and then he doubled up the jab to back him up onto the...
And right now, he's really just running out of real estate. He had nowhere to go.
And that's the right hand that I like to see. After all those left hands, he's getting plenty of respect off that left. And then, boom, a looping right hand coming in from the other side. That's the one. And it's the change of angles that are opening up those small little spots for those punches to land. He's not so much changing where his punches are going, but he's changing his feet, creating that angle. It's a great job.
And what I like Singleton's doing right now, Scott, is when he is getting hit with those punches, he's not backing up. He's standing still, and as Nick's coming forward, throwing those combinations, he's running out of room to go.
Absolutely.
He's running right into him, and he can't get the distance settled on that. So Singleton can continue to stay still and not be backed up and fire some combinations. That's when he's going to learn some points here.
But big left hook. And that's exactly what you just called for, Pat. That's what Nick's putting on. And the thing is, there's a nice, finally, Chris dropping in, throwing more than one punch at a time. Couple of hooks to the body.
Again, Singleton coming up top with a nice punch there. DeLomba not backing
Now
down.
there's that little Hagler step back, half step back, boom, boom, boom. I think that was a little misstep and a little pop. I don't know how much was. We'll
Sure,
see.
I mean, yeah, DeLomba connected on him. I think he may have caught him off balance, and he was on his way back anyways. The gloves didn't touch the canvas, though, so fight on.
True story. Nice right hand to the body, double jab the head, dropped into the body. Referee's telling Nick to keep them up, but I think that was pretty much right on the line. Nice change of direction, nice step over. Three, two, one. I like seeing it finish with a straight left hand. Combination you don't see very often.
Oh, DeLomba's throwing just about every combination he has so far through the first 4.5 rounds.
I love that step over right hand. He's just a little long with it right now. Double left hook. Chris has got some great head movement. He's making a miss. He's just not countering back. The defense is there, but the counter punching needs to pick up.
Yeah, Singleton does have good defense, but you're right, it's being wasted if all he's doing is just blocking punches.
He's making a miss, and he's just not making him pay. Nice body shot there by Chris. Again, he lands one, maybe two. He just can't put that combination together or back-to-back combinations. Nice body. That's what I'm. Man, that's a great body shot.
Yeah, it was right to the spot he needed to connect on there.
Left hook on the break by Nick.
Final 10 seconds of round number 5. Three rounds to go, Scott. A fight so far that hasn't had any knockdowns, but certainly plenty of action.
You've seen a couple of really heavy punches land by both fighters, but neither one going anywhere, not so much as a leg buckle.
Fight fans, don't forget to join us October 20th in Connecticut. We got a big card, including Federal Hill's own Nicky DeQuattro. Stay tuned to CESboxing.com for more details.
Once again, fight fans, Jimmy Birchfield Sr. announced tonight live on the microphone to the fans in attendance that CES will be back here on November 21st, the night before Thanksgiving. A special night of boxing here by Jimmy Birchfield's Classic Entertainment and Sports. We'll be live there for that broadcast as well. The night before Thanksgiving, a Wednesday night fight here in Lincoln, Rhode Island. Round 6 here for the UBF All-American title. DeLomba, the current champion, and Chris Singleton trying to take that belt away from him all the way back to Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Turkey and all the trimmings, a must. You got to negotiate that, pal.
I think you already did. I think you already just stepped up right there and said, "This is what I need."
Well, that's not all. I mean, I'm not a fool. I mean, I need stuffing and stuff.
Scott Ream will work for Turkey.
The funny part is we're talking this, and I'm sitting there staring at a guy who is throwing heat. There it is. These are the combinations we're looking for, and he's vegan. If we say turkey, does he get sick to his stomach? Or is he going to punch me in the mouth?
When I asked about why he turned vegan, he said because he loves animals.
Well, there you go. He just hates people. Look at the way he throws punches. He's picking up the pace very well, Chris, in this round. Those are the combinations to the body I was talking about. He lands them well, he lands them hard.
Yeah, Singleton's certainly not making this fight easy for DeLomba by any means.
If he can flurry those body punches again, he'll force Nick to keep his elbows in tight and not extend as much on his punches. Oh, big right hand by Nick DeLomba. Got a little more than a minute left in the 6th, and I haven't seen anybody just take the fight yet.
No, this fight has literally been toe-to-toe in every aspect.
Somebody's been winning a 10-9 round for sure, but it hasn't been a solid, like, oh, that was a 10-9 flat out.
And the problem with this, Scott, is when they're fighting so close together, you're relying on 3 judges from 3 different angles to score the fight. And when it's so close, you may not see some of the punches where you're sitting on the stool for the judge. So leaving this up to the judges in a fight like this is very dangerous for both fighters.
Absolutely true. And then here's the funny part. We've watched Nick fight before, and he likes to fight at distance. He likes to move around and showcase his jab and that jab left hook. He throws a great 1-3-2 combination. And he's fought, you know, stuck in that phone booth tonight. Oh, big punch, short left hand lands by Chris. Now he's doing a great job creating angles. You see him moving around well. But I just haven't seen Nick fight at distance. It seems like this is Chris's area, Chris's distance where he wants to be all night long.
Nick has certainly had trouble opening this fight up to some of his strengths, but he's done well fighting the way that he's had to so far. But Singleton there's no quitting him. He's here to fight.
You can absolutely see that. He's come in, he's been here before. You see the number of fights he's got. That's all he wants to do. You're not getting him out of here easy.
And DeLomba, the champion, reigning UBF All-American title holder, 13-2 as a pro fighter. Chris Singleton, the challenger, 18-5-2 with 8 knockouts. 34-year-old, 6 years older than DeLomba.
Age doesn't really make a difference. Ask Mr. Brady.
Ask Mr. Ream, you fought well into your late 30s.
40s.
You fought into your 40s. What does Scott Ream and Tom Brady have in common? They defy age. They prove that age is a number.
That's about the only thing.
Age and looks. 2.5 to go in round number 7 of a scheduled 8. Neither fighter really opened this up here in the last 2 rounds. Oh, big shot there.
Nice short right hand. It was a big shot. And if you notice, it wasn't a big wind up or anything. He's throwing this, again, very tight punches, but great power. Chris is making these punches. He makes you pay for them. They're short, they're in tight, they're heavy, just like that. But I just want to see a combination from him.
Yeah, you're right. Singleton's landed a few good shots, but hasn't been able to follow up on them.
I mean, if Chris wants to stay forehead to forehead, that's great. And he throws great power for it. You can see it in there. Just throw a couple more punches. 2-3 more punches. Put a combination together. Nick's just nice uppercut there. He's just been the busier fighter throughout.
Certainly.
Short left uppercut landed for Nick in that one. Double right hand, something you don't see very often. Right to the body, right uppercut. Nick wins that very well. Less than a minute left in the 7th round, and still no one's given any ground.
Well, it's been a good fight so far. Very evenly matched fight.
Who is that matchmaker guy again?
At the end of the 8th round, are we going to say we wish this was a 10 round? Because that's been the theme all night.
If these guys step on the gas just a little bit more, we'll be able to say it, no problem. But from the ladies all the way through, from the main card, with the exception of our 6'8" heavyweight, no one wanted to see 8 rounds of that. He just put him away.
8 rounds, he didn't even go a full minute. Scott's referring to Rafael Akpejiori, who made his pro debut in exciting fashion with a first-round knockout. It took only 59 seconds for him to knock out Akpejiori-Acosta in the opening fight of our telecast.
That was a nice flurry at the end for Nick. He dug out 3-4 nice body punches and finished up top.
And here we go. We're going to go into the 8th and final round, the championship round here in this fight. And you know, Scott, we talked about how it's going to be up to 3 judges if this fight goes 3 more minutes. And the problem with that, Scott, is even though DeLomba's been the busier fighter, he's throwing more combinations. Again, you don't know what fight those judges are watching, and you don't know what angles they're able to see. The fight's been so compact and so close. If that fight's across the other end of the ring, you may not see some of the punches. And some of the punches that are missed, you may think have landed from that angle. It's literally we're watching 3 different angles of the fight.
Think about it right now. In an 8-round fight, if one judge sees 1-2 rounds difference, the difference being all of a sudden you got a 3-3 and we're looking at the last 2 rounds for a decision.
Here we go, the 8th and final round, the championship round here for the UBF All-American title.
Look at this, now we're flurrying. Now we're throwing combinations short, inside, tight.
What'd you say about stepping on the gas?
Now it looks like they're doing it. Now it's, you really got to do this. You got to win the round. If you think that there's a great 4-punch combination by Nick, Chris is trying to answer back. He's actually egging him on, nodding his head, come on, let's keep this up. Like he wants to mix it up and scrap. That might be what he believes is his only real opportunity in this fight, is to find that opening for a big punch. But neither fighters seem to, like I said, rock the other. But you have to hit the gas in the last round. It's been a close fight. They've been close 10-9 rounds. Of course, you might have one fighter winning every single one of them right now if you're a judge. You could have it 7 rounds to none. You could have it 6 rounds to 1. But they've been very tight 10-9 rounds. No one's been overwhelming. That left hook landed well for Nick.
Certainly, and you may not get a knockout punch in this round, but you might get a knockdown, and a 10-8 round could be the difference in this fight either way.
Absolutely.
Minute and 40 seconds to go here in the final round, not just of this fight, but of our broadcast here from Twin River Casino. Great night of fights so far with a big exclamation point right there by DeLomba.
He dug the liver right after that right hand, which is great. Young fighters should take a really good look at that. You hurt somebody to the body, come back up to the head. Double left hand, right cross, another right hand lands. Now you see the difference. Nick's pouring it onto the body and to the head, just like he did in the earlier rounds.
Yeah, now Nick's really trying to apply it here.
He's looking like if he can keep this up for another minute and change, he might be able to put Chris away. Or at least, like you said, Pat, get that knockdown, that 10-8 round.
Final minute to go, 60 seconds here in the 8th and final championship round.
But you have to fight like that belt's not going anywhere. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, this is the champ trying to retain his title.
Well, he's certainly fighting this last round like he doesn't want to let that belt go anywhere else
That's
but
what
back
he's
to
doing.
his bedroom.
Nice little bump over there, little shoulder bump, and bumped over for the angle.
30 seconds to go.
Yeah, he just changed angles 3-4 times to stay with them. Chris is doing the best job he can to keep pace, but Nick's had the better footwork all night long.
Certainly.
Or at least used it tonight. Nice short right uppercut by Nick.
Final seconds to go here.
This is the first time I think we've seen Chris back up since the 3rd round. Just swinging for the fences here. DeLomba really pouring it on. Nice job. Great bout.
What a finish. That 8th round was a championship round there by DeLomba. He really dug in his heels and did what he had to do to make sure that at least that round that he was going to take. But hats off really to Chris Singleton. I mean, he fought up into literally the very last second of that fight.
Absolutely. You know, when you got a fighter, he's got 23 fights. 25 fights. He's not going to these 18-5. He's still a lot of pride, a lot of heart.
And you see the replay of that.
Now these are the
About
bump
a minute and a half.
over. It's a little shoulder bump, and then watch him change his foot position. He'll bump over and hit him from that other angle. Nice combination. Locked in that clinch, and it's a quick little bump over. Change that angle. Short right hand. Goes to the liver, comes back outside, changes his angle. There's the change of angle.
And out of all the punches he's thrown tonight, Scott, I think that little short right was probably his most effective fight. It's the one that landed most frequently. and I think the one that may have done the most damage.
Even in the flurries it has been, he's shortened himself up very well. He's learning his distance, he's getting better, like I said earlier. Nick's getting better at learning his distance. Once you have a pretty good hand on your distance, then you can figure out your opponents pretty well.
And now let's see if DeLomba will keep the belt or if
Fight
it's going to Baton
fans,
Rouge,
how about a round
Louisiana.
of applause for both these brave warriors?
Who do you think, Pat?
After 8
I think
rounds,
it's got to be
we go
DeLomba,
to
but it's going to be
scorecards.
close.
Judge Martha Tremblay scored the fight 78-74. Judge Frank Lombardi and Judge Peter Harry scored the fight 79-73. For your winner by unanimous decision and still champion, Nick Nice DeLomba.
Well, I don't think that was any real surprise. We thought Nick was winning the fight.
We're going to hear from Nick DeLomba right here with matchmaker Mike Parenti. What better way to celebrate with a belt and James Brown?
Okay,
James
we're
Brown
here
is
with the
just about
champion,
anything.
Nick DeLomba. Nick, you had a little bit of a change in your game plan when your original opponent got hurt about 5 weeks before the fight. How did that change things? How did that change your approach, and how did you refocus on a new opponent coming in tonight?
It didn't really change a thing, except for we changed up our sparring, tweaked the game plan. We always stay ready. But before I get into anything about my opponent and what happened, first off, I want to thank God for everything that He's let me do and everything I've been through. He believed in me, and I raised and overcame, and I'm still champion. I want to thank Team CES, Michael Parenti, everybody in the CES team. They do a hell of a job. Thank you guys for everything you've done. I want to thank my coaches and my wife. I don't know how you guys deal with me. I'm cranky on weight cut. I want to thank my sponsors. I feel incredible. I mean, this fight meant a lot to me. Not only did I go through the adversity of changing an opponent, I had a dear friend of mine, George Barrios, who I worked with for 5 years and known him over 8 years. He passed away a few weeks before this fight. So this fight was dedicated to him. Every time he introduced me to somebody, oh, this is the New England champ. This kid's the man. This is Nick DeLomba. You got to see him fight. He's great. So this one's for you, George. We love you and we miss you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to continue to put on a great show here at Twin River. Keep buying tickets. Keep coming out. Keep seeing a beautiful performance.
All right, there it is. Nick DeLomba, ladies and gentlemen, your reigning UBF All-America champion.
And there you have it. Nick DeLomba improves to 14-2, and we're going to see some final replays here of this fight. What a job there defensively by Nick DeLomba, making Singleton miss big time.
Changing those angles. There's that short right hand. His feet, again, I can't stress it enough. Feet win fights. He changed his angles. His punches, his combinations were accurate. He has good heavy hands, but you can see right here, you'll watch him just take a little bump over. He'll bump with the shoulder and change the angle. He'll keep stepping wide to the outside and shoot right back. There was one point where he did a virtual 360 moving around. It's very hard to find your... When you're chasing that guy in a pocket like that, every time you turn and that guy's one step ahead of you, he's hitting you on the turn. He's hitting you every time he changes the angle. He did a great job tonight with that.
Great night of fights here from Twin River Casino. I'm Pat Sullivan, Scott Reed, my broadcast partner. Couldn't have asked for a better Friday night here than broadcasting these fights with you.
So happy to be back. This is something I missed, and I'm happy we're doing it again.
Fights were led off by a first-round knockout in the heavyweight division, went all the way through some great fights. A draw, a couple of nice decisions, all the way up to Nick DeLomba defending his UBF All-American title. Fans, thank you for tuning in to CES Boxing's Facebook and VIVE for tonight's Friday Night Fights, brought to you by Jimmy Birchfield's Classic Entertainment and Sports. A special thanks to today's production team, Bird Eye Sports, and the producer, Ben Talbot. Once again, fight fans, I'm Pat Sullivan, my broadcast partner tonight, Scott Ream. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you at the fights.